What's good, guys? Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me, guys? Let me get... Oh, what's the music not sounding anymore? Yo! What's good, guys? Design Syndrome here. Glad to have you back on the channel again. How y'all doing? Can you hear me? Okay, chat's popping already. Had to do a quick bathroom pit stop, you know what I mean, before starting the stream. So, how have you been doing, my guys? Everything all right? Let me make sure the music doesn't kickstart again. Damn. Need to get a fucking like a third monitor, I guess. So what's happening, y'all? How y'all doing? Chilling. What's good, my G? Oh, I haven't imported the chat. 1 second, so you can see the chat in the screen. I completely forgot. Where's my YouTube chat? There. There you should see the chat. I guess so. Oh, my hair, it's a mess. If I do this, and the Formula One season, no, I'm not watching it. This Formula One season, I'm not following it up close. This one. Marshall from the Discord, let's go. Glad to see a lot of the Discord people here. We have Fox Rocket Studio, my guy. My guys, if you don't know this dude, go check out his art. He's really cool, and I really feel like his style is like the polar opposite of what I do, right? He's so calm and so like elegant and everything. It's so chill and sort of meditative, you know. Yeah, we love that dude, and also he has a really amazing assets, so you can also go check those out. So yeah, that's it, my guys. So for the ones that don't know, and I maybe just finding my stream, this is a Design Dojo stream, which is a space on my Discord channel in which I give weekly, bi-weekly design assignments in which we can all hone our graphic design skills. In a more fundamental level, we see design assignments on typography, hierarchy, composition. This week, this time around, maybe we have one that's more applied. It's the merge design assignment, and it's really it's something to really apply what we've been seeing in the past weeks with typography, and really just have fun with it. It was not so much like a super conceptual experimentation that we had to do. It's just a fun piece to be able to play around and make something really cool, and then we can give a bit of feedback and things that and decisions that maybe we don't think make as much sense, you know what I mean? So it should be a pretty fun one. I need to know how that art, the aesthetic is. You mean the Fox Rocket one? Yeah, dude's crazy. I'm new to your channel. The shit, no one dives this deep into design concepts. Thank you so much, bro. Oh, I glad you see it that way, my guy. Yeah, I felt the same sometimes, because it's everything. It's so tutorial this, tutorial that, and I love doing tutorials. This year I was so lazy on those because I was so eager to do this, but next year I'm gonna see if I can make some tutorials, but really try to apply these things so they are not just tutorials. You know, I want to try to restructure them in a way that I really want to teach you in a way that you can come up with the effects yourself. You know what I mean? So I don't want to just give you a step by step, but rather to teach the procedure by which you can sort of play more around with it. You know what I mean? It's kind of abstract, but I guess in my previous tutorials, I've sort of done that. You know what I mean? I try to really explain why everything does, what everything does, so you have a better understanding, you know? Yeah, tutorial. They are also really good for if you have a YouTube channel. They are a really easy way of having your channel grow, and they work really well on YouTube. So that's a plus. I have a question. Shoot, my guy. Shoot. If you have any questions, guys, or anything that you would like to talk about before we start, we can do that. No problem. I've been playing too much 80s. Oh my god, the art on that game, it's crazy. 80s too. Like, you have it over here. Like the art on this game, guys, it's crazy. Let me see if I can see something on the community hub. Oh, this is fan made by the community. People upload some crazy shit if you go into the community hubs for the games. But yeah, go check it out. It's amazing. It's amazing. What is bro saying? It's just me, or sometimes the video feed is like 10 FPS. Oh, it's maybe the internet. Maybe it come and goes. Oh no, the community hub, be careful. Oh yeah. Once I entered, I figured that there must be some some spicy Hades toward. I bet in other games people upload whatever. Yeah. How long think you will make this week's challenge? They are not more. They are no more like weekly. They are not more no more weekly, because I don't think in a weekly assignment we can like give the assignment the proper time that it needs. So right now I'm gonna do them, like I'm gonna post them, and they'll be indefinitely in the dojo. You can do them at your own pace. Sorry. You can do them at your own pace. Let me go real quick into just to show you real quick again. If we go into the Discord, now I've restructured the dojo, so you have every assignment, and you can go into any assignment and do them in any order you want, really. But of course, the latest assignment is gonna be the one that has the priority on the streams, because we are gonna be on the current one. But I really made the Discord channel so you can hop in and just posting whatever of the boards you want for any of the assignments, and the community will be there giving feedback. I just launched this like 2 weeks ago, so that's why maybe you are not seeing the assignments posted, what the community did on previous ones, because this section is new. Like if you go into the legacy dojo and you go to the dojo feedback, here you can see all the old assignments in the previous form, which is the continuous feed. But I felt this was a bit hectic, so now the dojo this way, it's far better. And next year I'm gonna do it again, not another server, but another board, and it's gonna be called Design Dojo 2026. And I'm just gonna be reworking some of the assignments and bringing in new ones and have it much more structure. I want to I guess next year, or maybe 2027, I have it like dialed down pretty hard, and I want it to be like a full-on graphic design course from zero, right? We won't go as much into business cards and logo. I want to be really foundational and to go from the absolute beginning, like making a stain, making a dot, making how to start composing in an artistic way, and then from there starting to put in the meaning and semiotics and all the path I did in my university, at least. Images, then typography, then what it means an image with typography, and then at the end we do movie poster and all of that. But yeah, I'm really proud of this Design Dojo project, and I really feel it could become something really, really great. Really great. It already is, I think, but I want it to be like a really cool place, a really cool place that you get a lot of value from. And if you want to support, you can become a patron or get a texture pack, whatever it is. So yeah, actually, let's just jump into we're already here. Let's just jump into into what people were doing. Let's put this here. How can I do the open full view? So here we have some of what people were making. It's okay if I share my Insta in the Discord. Would love some feedback about anything and everything I can improve on. Yeah, you can share your Instagram. You can share it on the feedback channel. There is this feedback channel is just for specific pieces. Put on your piece and say what would you like feedback on. I always say, like, give a little bit of context. It's really hard to give feedback like out of thin air, you know, like just putting an image and asking for feedback. It's not realistic because we could say whatever, right? But if you're saying, yo, I'm not sure about the typography, the composition, it's A or B, and I'm not sure, then we can say something, you know, even like what's the design for. That also helps a lot to give feedback. But yeah, if you want to share your Instagram just to get people to the Instagram, we have a one post a day channel, sorry. And here you can post. Here people are posting their Instagrams, and this is just another diffusion channel for the thing. And make sure you check the Design Dojo guide and the leveling system so you understand how everything works. What do we have here on the general? Oh, okay, people. Oh, look at these guys. This is for the new cutout action pack I'm working on. It's almost done. Looks great. Can you check the one I posted a few days ago? Sorry, my guy. These streams are for the Design Dojo stuff, not for any kind of piece or whatever. We will do those on the feedback channels, right? Maybe I do a specific video for those. But this I want to keep it for the Design Dojo specifically for the assignments. You know what I mean? But don't worry, I'll try to jump in later and try to see what I can say to you. So okay, let's go back to the band merge design. Okay, we have a few here. Okay, I don't know if you guys seen the Linkin Park one that I made. I feel this is one of the best designs that I've made. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of the layers and all of that for the design. We have here, I'll try playful foolish style because that captures men I trust, the band, dreamy and warm world. Okay, I asked for the file on this one because I wanted to show you something. Here everything is sort of disconnected, like the set of images look all from different sets. I don't think there is something that ties them together like really nicely. And even the picture, it looks, everything is disconnected, but not in a cohesive way, you know? I get that the playful style has that disconnected like quality and features to it. But here it's too much. You know, there is something about the different widths of the strokes. You have stuff that is really thin, but it's not like it doesn't have like a nice rhythm to it. You could look at a lot of like ignorant style like tattoo references, and I don't know if I shared some here on the ones that I placed for the references, but these were just to spark just to kickstart some images for you. But no, here we don't have anything like that. Let me see if I go to um, let's see. Oh shit. This is not ignorant. I mean, yeah, but these references are shit. He's not ignorant. I want to find something. I mean, this is title, but you see something like this. I don't know if you see it there. You see how everything it's kind of it's disconnected, but in a way that sort of makes sense. The thickness of each line, how everything is composed into the space, and also, like for example, in your piece, you put everything like super neatly in this, like in this rectangular shape, right? And I think it would be cool to have the design a lot more like sparse around. You know what I mean? Let me do something really quick on Photoshop because I actually have the file for this. Where is my group? Like so. Okay, let me grab a matter, guys. So, oh yeah. So, oh, here it was, the Man I Trust one. So this is the file that I got. From this file, let me rasterize it because I don't have the typography, but I'm gonna just steal it from here. I don't know this band really. Let me get rid of this. Right, and what I would try, for example, with this is just to, oh, you had the pixel gallery there, so let's just raster everything. Right, with something like this, I would go like super, like far more playful with it. Like here also you have like this I would maybe try to, I'm gonna copy this. Here I'm just making a mask of it, so now I have it like so, and I can change the color. And to this, if I go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and I add not so much Gaussian blur, and then with the levels, I can make it thicker, you know. And thicker, it's more fun, you know what I mean? Right? Right, this is the same. Go black. And what I'm doing here is just grabbing the information on the layer that you have that's black and white, and I'm using it to make a mask on a solid color layer. So that's why I can change the color now. Oh, and actually that is accidental and it looks cool. Because I have that black shadow, so I'm gonna Right, so what is this? Album flowers. Oh, it was this one, sorry. So let's get rid of this one. These are the little eyes. I don't like those. Okay, the birds are cool. The birds are cool, so let's do silicone layer black. Oh, these are from my asset pack. Let's grab those. Solid color. That. I'm just trying to isolate every element so I can better have it. This one I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. I like that it has that texture, like a pencil. But here you have it cool. Like here you have it correct. I don't know why you didn't use that one from the start. Here are the stars. In the singer, you actually have it. Oh, okay. In the singer, let's just grab it. Oh, sorry. Right. And this way, I'm just trying to make everything just a bit more, how do you say? Like cohesive, at least in a sense of weight, you know? And then we can maybe work in the composition and da da da. This one, let's. Get rid of this. Oh, sorry, I go out of focus with the camera. I don't know this band. Is it good? This, let me. Yeah, but sometimes if the element maybe is stands out too much, like you can just compose out of these elements that you have here, you know what I mean? Like, let me see if I grab, let me go straight to the mockup. And white, right? And let's grab all these elements, just dump them in the mockup, you know? Where is the return with the band? This, let me get rid of the white. This walking dude, I don't like it as much. It's too. But you know, here, let me see right now. Oh, I hate when I don't find the layers properly. Yeah, yeah, I just want to show something really quick, just to make an exploration on the spirit of the design itself. You know what I mean? Okay, but maybe don't focus on the art style, but this design that I made, just rearranging what you had in your design, I feel maybe it captures more of the spirit because it's more fun. You know, you're not trying to fit everything inside this rectangle that you had before, you know, in this, right? So you have that versus this, right? It's the same elements. It's just that if you're trying to capture this fun, lighthearted vibe, then you can do it in the composition as well. Like, I feel like this is a pretty cute, like, crew neck, like sweatshirt. I feel it's really cool, right? And in those are the same elements, right? In which you can just rearrange it and try to be a bit more playful with the composition, right? So this I like how it turned out. Let me save this one. So this is one. Let's just leave the mockup for a second. And at least I'm gonna save it just to keep it in. And yeah, that's the thing, you know, because it's not a matter of the effects, right? It's not a matter of the texture. Like, I used the same elements that you had. I just took a bit different decision with them. You know what I mean? So that's I think it's the better takeaway for that specific example, right? It's not that I grabbed a better typography or a better image. Like, the images were what they were, but you could make a better set of decisions to make the design like cooler. So let's see what else we have here. Oh, I had this one. This one I wanted to make a variation on this design. So I'm gonna try that in a bit. This one didn't send me the file. I don't know if I asked for the file on this one, but super impactful. The image is impactful. What would you want me to tell you? Like, the image works. It's like, it's a punch in the face. But I would add just a tiny bit of contrast add a bit of like values to the eye so I can perceive the ocular globe, you know what I mean? So I can perceive the shape of the eye. So when the nails go in, you have that real, like, visceral, like, contact point, you know what I mean? Because here it looks like they are going into, like, it's hard to discern the eye. It looks like a stain, like a blob of color, right? But if you add that a bit of shadow in this part just to signal that, okay, this is a globe, it's that part of the eye, it would read a lot better. Oh, sorry, my guy. But yeah, it was just that quick, how do you say? That quick change. Like, it's just, if you have it, send it to me. I think I can make the change really quick. It's just super simple what I need to do, but I feel it could work. Yeah. Oh no, for the Metallica, I don't need the file. I'm gonna make it outside of it. I felt for this one, if this file would be cool to make the changes. And then we have another one. This one's cool. I don't know the band. So 21 Pilots. Okay. Yeah, this is a nice design. I like the design. I feel like this shape here and also the texture is not super correctly applied. Like, it's everything, it's not merging together super well. Like, here, I would, if you take out this, like, the typography for this, I don't like it, or at least it's not good, properly used. Like, I made a video about how to mix typographies that I think it could help you. This one I really liked. I don't know if you can see there. This one I really liked because it's really different, and I feel that it's really artsy. I feel like, but I like the part of on the back and also the front. The front I would maybe only keep like the little dog from the Drake album. You know what I mean? But yeah, the back is pretty hard. Yeah, the back is pretty hard. Yeah, the back is it's pretty hard.
Charge complete.
What else do we have? Oh, this one is really cool. I really liked the design on the back part. I feel like this composition with the really interesting like morphological with the colors like shape on the top that shows the refraction of the colors is really nice. I would maybe add like the typography lockup could be better. Like if you really lock in that typography and make it really interesting, and also for example here I also said to you like if you could add a bit more hierarchy levels on the typography, it could really help it to make it more interesting to the eye. And that's one thing when you make trying to come up with more hierarchy levels, like what do I put in the poster? That's the classic one. Like think about maybe the stadium it's on bold, and the city it's in another typography and a little bit smaller. Maybe you can make a separation and you make an indentation with another little text to the side that when you change the like the continent, right? Or maybe you put the date, or you see what kind of information you can come up with, so you have more little ingredients to add to your design. You know what I mean? Because this looks really nice, but I feel like it's lacking some more visual interest. You know what I mean? But it's cool. Like I feel like if you take out the text and you leave only like the image of the colors, it could work as well. The front, I like the composition, but sometimes when you're designing, you need to make sure that it doesn't mean another thing by mistake. You know what I mean? Like this is too LGBTQ plus, not because it's nothing wrong with it being that. It's that if that's not your intention, then don't do it. You know what I mean? In design, we pay a lot of attention because sometimes you make things that look too phallic because we have a certain bias to make things that maybe are a bit too sexual sometimes, you know, or you know, this happens a lot to brands maybe when they make something by mistake look like a swastika or something like that, because these are symbols that we have it so much in our subconscious that sometimes they appear, you know. Yeah, here you could have maybe like a refract crystal or any kind of imagery regarding that. There are a lot of like diagrams, like schematics showing this process. Maybe you could have something around that on the front, you know what I mean, with a nice texture and something like that. But yeah, see if you can rework this. I feel it could work really well. This one is just nice. It's pretty to look at. Love the mockup. Yeah, love the typography. Let's go, my guy. Thank you for stopping by. Have a nice night's sleep, my guy. Yeah, stuff like this needs to go to the drawing board. Like this is our completely different like styles of text, of images. Stuff's not blending correctly. Also, I can't understand what's the concept, right? What's the idea even? So yeah, these kind of exercises, this the one that did this would really benefit from going to the start of the design dojo and trying to do from the beginning, right? Because maybe it's a bit too complex. Like this looks like being completely harsh. Like this is looks like a generic Chinese design that's been stolen. Yeah, you have the link for the Discord on the description, my guy. This one, I really liked it. The new G's album, Getting Killed. I loved this. I loved, I don't know the band, but I loved the design. It's pretty simple, but I feel it's pretty well executed, and having in mind that this is going on a garment and it's using the garment itself as a canvas, right? It's not that we are just putting like a screen print shabloon on the back of the t-shirt as we tend to do and call it a day. He's using the entirety of the garment to compose something, and that's, I guess, what we should do the majority of the time. You know what I mean? One second, guys. I'm gonna grab something to for my congestion, and I'll be right back. So here we are. Sorry, guys. Need to grab this. So yeah, this one I really liked it. I could maybe, of course, like play around with the typography, or maybe the how do you say, like the texture a little bit, make it a little bit cooler. That's besides the point, right? That's why maybe when we do an assignment that's on texture and on applying those kind of effects, we'll go deeper on that. But for this time being, I would like to just keep it around the decisions around the design itself, like the contrast, what elements are we highlighting, you know, like the cohesion on the design itself, rather than all the texture, all the typography, because we already did like assignment on those kind of things specifically. So it would really be a waste of time, you know what I mean? So yeah, this one's really cool, and we have no more. I wanted to go back to the Metallica one because it's nice. I like the design. It's a classic, how do you say, like rock band, vintage tee design. What I would send the file for the other one. Okay, I'll look at it in a bit. For this Metallica one, let me super quick. I'm gonna try to recreate it on Photoshop because I feel like the schools are really nice, but something that I really like to think about when I try to design something, it's okay, if I'm gonna put a bell in a school, like what's the point of putting them like apart? You know, you can barely see them here, right? I would make that center stage and make like a bell that's a school. You know what I mean? Like a school bell, something like that. Make a really like cool composition. So we could make that super quick in Photoshop. Like let me. Oh, sorry. Like this. That. So have this here. Let me. Okay, let's try to compose something really quick. I just grabbed those images. I already have them ready because I wanted to try this. So here I'm gonna just select the subject. Already the Photoshop, the feature like select subject is working really well. And it works amazing nowadays. Before it was like really a hassle to get it to work correctly. And this design, I'm gonna close it. And let's go back here. Already have some pictures of skulls that I feel could work. I wanna try. There are two that could work here. Okay. Let's bring this image in. And we could really work with this one and this one. this one could work because it fits better like the direction, you know. Like that's also a thing you want to keep in mind that it changes a lot if you're trying to make a design and you make it like overly, how do you say, like overly centered and overly centered and symmetric, you know what I mean? That tends to make design look too orderly. You want to add just a little bit of movement and skew stuff so it has a bit more dynamism, you know what I mean? So okay, let me try with this one. And this one is nice because it kind of fits the like the lighting, you know. But I'm gonna teach you now like a little trick to match the, how do you say, like the texture, because we have like a metal bell and then the skull is not as reflective, so we want to match that texture also. So I'm going to show you a quick way we can be a little cheeky and change the, like the skull reflectance. Here I always like to make a backup layer, a backup group, just to keep everything in case I fuck it all up. Right? And something like this looks cool, you know what I mean? Something like this looks cool. There already we have something, you know. There already we have something, I feel like. And one thing I like to do here is just to make everything the same. I'm gonna drop just a gradient map, just to start and to see everything, how it works, right? Or maybe I can just make everything here, like make it with Control U. I just unsaturate everything, sorry, like that. And then the skull. And that way I see it all in just values without the color, so it's integrated a bit better. And now to change the reflectance on the skull, what we can do is make a gradient map. Sorry, a gradient map. Let's clip it to the skull. So we have it like there. Here, I see the properties. There. And now, because to add that reflectance, I want to create, like you see how in the bell we have like light, then it's in the bell we have like this kind of light, and then it goes to a darker color and then white again, right? So we can maybe mimic that in the with the gradient map we are given, so it maps different the colors, right? So maybe we can invert it like this. Right, we straight copy from there. Right, and we start to move it around till we get something that's sort of like that reflective material that's on the bell, right? Right, and that kind of works already. You see how we kind of matched the reflectance on the bell. So that kind of works in my book. Move it more to the side. Reflective materials are you need to hit the sweet spot on the reflectance, or how do you get the values, and it undecidedly works. You see, I move it just a tad here. More like so, but this black needs to be less, more like that. There, something like that works, right? And then we can put this on a group, and then we create a new gradient map, and we clip it to the group itself, right? And then you can maybe play with the bell itself, like with everything now kind of integrated, right? But let's get rid of this for a second. I want to keep playing with it, with this a little bit. Here, to integrate it even more, you can, to the skull, you add mask, and you can paint like with black to hide a bit of the mask, and maybe you can smooth it in, something like this, right? Like that. I would even add to the skull, like you see how the bell has this rim light. And here, for this kind of like compositions, you need to really pay attention to, you're kind of making a painting, you know? It's not that you put the elements just like that and it works, right? So you have the bell that has this rim light here. So let's add that to the skull here, right? This part also. I would like to keep the dark part inside the eye, right? So maybe we can do, let's see if I isolate this. Want to mask that part out. And it works. I feel it works. It's just to, because it looked kind of weird with the light part inside of it also. So we can do a blur, a bit of Gaussian blur. Let's bring it in. Like that, but it's not finished, guys. Like, don't worry about it, you know. Now, this is similar to what I did to the Linkin Park design. It's like, I like to do, I have this pattern. Is this like noise pattern that I made? I already teach you how to do this in one of my tutorials. Like, go look for it. It's like this noisy pattern. Let's get rid of the fill. Now on top of this, I'm gonna add you can do it with a threshold, so you get the good old, you know what I mean? This is the usual stuff. Already looks fire, right? And here you get a bit more control. Like if I go into this layer, right? And I start to paint inside this layer, you can really like dial in the thing, you know? But Let's get rid of this and drop in a moisturized. And I like to give it at 5 levels, right? And you get that nice mixture in the colors, right? But on top of this, we need to drop a curves adjustment layer. I never remember if this goes on top like that, right? And now you get to play a bit more with it. And we need to just get rid of the black where the background is, you know? Like that. As soon as it disappears, there. You can play with the feel. If you change the feel, it's gonna change how the pattern looks and everything. You can change the scale. Right? Depending on how you change the values here, it's gonna change how the pointed eyes effect or the diffusion or the diffusion pattern is gonna look. Right? Now to this, I like to add a gradient map and throw the gradient map on top. And here, the gradient map, we can do this one's cool. Here I'm just speaking. I had one here. Let's do this one. Let's reverse it. But I want to change the values a little bit. I want to make it a deeper blue. Something like that. Right, and like that we are coloring with the gradient map itself using our diffusion pattern that we did. And you can make it more visible even, so it really shows. But then you need to remember to go and adjust the value so you don't get that black. It's easier if you do the diffusion pattern on whatever texture. You can do this with any texture you want, really. Oh, it's really killing me, the out of focus of the camera. Let me change the focus mode. Like that's better, right? Yeah. So like that works. And in anything you do be below this diffusion pattern, it's gonna take that the texture of the grain. You know what I mean? So if I grab a new layer here and I grab like a real subtle white brush, I can make like the highlights here. You see? Boom. I had made flares. Oh no. Right, and then from here we can add another layer below the one of the skull, and let's just do something like this, and let's make it really subtle. Right, right, something like that. And then we can add to the skull, which is in this layer group, we can grab add a drop shadow, something like that, and we get some nice separation with the background. The values are a bit fucked up. Something like that works a bit better, right? Yeah, once you understand like how the layer setup works, it's just playing with values. Right? You can go back in and make it bigger. Right? But still, I guess the diffusion it's maybe too much on this part, and I would like to have it a bit more focalized. So maybe we do 4 levels on the posterized, and that kind of helps a little bit. Maybe something like this. Right? And also we could add even here. Right? Something like that works, right, chat? Yeah, and what's nice about this setup is that you can just go and tweak it. Like this I like. Right, and it looks fire. You can even drop like a uh, all these brushes you have available on my site, guys. On designsyndrome.com you have everything. Right there I'm using like the lightning storm texture, like the brushes, sorry. And like those, and I wanted to show you another thing. Oh yeah, remember to use like the shadow to separate it a bit from the background, but not too much. Right, like that. Oh, I did everything on the wrong layer. But like that. And it's just a matter of playing with the values then. So, for example, another thing I like to do is like I grab the bell itself and get rid of the effect, merge the group. So we have now like the bell itself like separated, and you can add a blur to it, a Gaussian blur, quite a bit of blur, and we change the mode to screen, and then we play a bit with the image adjustments and the curves, so we can control a bit of the bloom on the design, something like that. You can even add even a bit more bloom if you want. You add more Gaussian blur, something like that. Right? And then we have something that we could probably use for a merge piece. Let me just merge everything, copy. Let's save it just in case. Metal bell. And let's just go to this mockup is it's the free one. This mockup is free. It's already on the it's already on my website. You can go grab it and change the design. Put it here, and to get rid of the black pixels, let's just blend in options. And here you need to blend if and move this slider here, and that way you get rid of the black pixels. And just like that, boom. Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. The designs are maybe too big, just a tad too big. like that. Yeah. So the new one. That works. And then you can see how you put in the Metallica and all of that, but it's the same idea. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. I made this like distressed brushes. I'll release them eventually. But yeah, design turned out amazing, right? I really like how it looks. Yeah. Here we can throw the. That's the thing that I wanted to show you. Uh, like if you go to the diffusion pattern, like here you can put whatever you want. Like if I go grab a texture and let's say this texture, right? And I put it in the diffusion pattern and just change the blending mode. Look at that, right? And that's how you can play with texture and different blending modes, right? Here is just in hard mix, but I could put it in normal, change the fill. I can even go and play with the colors to make it black and white. And I could, let's rasterize this. Let's get rid of the, like this, the little points, right? And let's just use the texture. And I can image adjustment curves and I'll just play with the texture itself, right? And you get stuff like this. The thing with this, it doesn't look as good because it's not functioning and as a diffusion pattern because the dots are not mixing with each other, right? So you don't get that nice fall off that you would get if you have these points. You know how the points are all intermingling with each other and sort of getting mixed up. That's why you get like this nice like diffusion from one color to the next when using the posterized, right? Because this is what the image looks like in reality, right? But because we added the posterized and the posterized and the dots, that's what it looks like, right? And then we add the levels, the curves to really dial in those values so we get the mixture we want, so we get the contrast we want, and then it looks like that, right? But then you can throw in any texture and play around with the blending modes, and you can get some really cool stuff, right? There in hard mix, it looks really torn. It looks great. I feel like I really like how it looks. Yeah, it's not exactly like dithering. It's not exactly dithering, but it's a vibe. This is more like broken printer or something like that. You like my sweater, my guy? It's from Nike, the ACG. Look at the printing on the sleeves. It's like insects, but it's really great. Yeah. So let me save this. Actually, let's get rid of this. Yeah. Oh, another thing that I like to do is once you have the design ready, like everything, including the background, I grab everything, duplicate it, merge the layers. Oh, The fuck I did? What is happening? Why is not letting me duplicate it? So let's put everything on a group. It's not letting me for some reason. Maybe because this is blocked. Let me check now. Oh, there. So here's our entire design without the texture, of course. So let's duplicate it, merge everything. And the same we did for the skull to get the bloom effect. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And now instead of doing like the screen effect, because this is not supposed to be a balloon, I want it to be like sort of a bleed for the ink, right? So we're gonna give it to multiply, right? And we could even like do less of a blur. So let's go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and let's do a lot less, like something like that. And now I put it on multiply, right? And now we go again and play with the curves. Right, if you go in, you can sort of see how the black, how you get like a really subtle bleed there. It needs to be really subtle. You can maybe do it something like this. Like that works, and now you turn the fill down. Like that. Right? And there you have it. Right? And it's a much more interesting way of combining the elements, right? That's the key decision here, not the texture. The key decision is like to having the elements merge, right? That's what I would like you to think when making the piece. Right, so this works. This works also. Actually, this one, let me real quick. Just save it, just to have it ready to do something. There. Love how it turned out. So now let's go to the Linkin Park piece. Actually, actually, the Linkin Park it's done doing that same effect. Like I don't know what you want me to tell you, but the video thumbnail had the Linkin Park piece, so I don't want to clickbait you. I don't want to clickbait you into oblivion. So let's do the piece. You know what I mean? Now where's that fucking piece? Here. Main art. Oh, here's the baby. I really loved this piece. That's what I wanted to tell you on the piece on the Pink Floyd piece. Here you can barely read the dates and everything, but you see how I try to come up with a graphic way in which I could separate the elements, right? So I have the city here with the country with the dates, right? And the dates have like the number in like the, I don't know how do you call that when you have like the smaller number at the top. So all those different like changes in visuals create like more interest, right? Instead of it being like a line of text, you see how you can make it more interesting, how you can come up with ways in so every piece of information has its nice little like variation in which how you display it, right? So let's start to get rid of the effect layers. But you can see it's the same principle as what we did with the, here we have the stars, here we have the text, right? Like that. Here's the baby. Oh, this one, it doesn't matter. Then we had the badge. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff, but let's do it. Let's do it. Baby copy. Okay, so that's a backup. We have a Linkin Park. We have the background. So here's where it began. Right, so I started to sketching something. I already had done the sketch on physical form. I think I have it here. Here's the sketch. Right, I was playing with the idea of like bringing back this symbol, the logo of Linkin Park, the old logo of the soldier, the furry soldier with the flag. So I went in, I started sketching, right? Then more of a final form, then dial in the final shape of the baby, adding the wings. And at the beginning, I was just gonna grab this and make a collage, like the piece we did just before, you know, grabbing the baby and the wings of the insect and just mashing it together the same way we did in the last piece. But then I started drawing and I was like, yo, this could work as it is, right? And I started like adding shit, right? So here I changed the background, so I can start properly putting in the elements. That. Right, then I just grabbed the logo of Linkin Park and used my Chrome text effect. Like there is the tool here. I just grabbed the Linkin Park logo and run it through this. But there is a tutorial also on how to do this on Photoshop and on my channel. It's the most viewed video on my channel, so you'll find it. Then I added these stains that I did with my acid brush pack. Then I added here, funny enough, is the cover of the new CD, but I put it in black and white and added a blur to it, so it acts like a sort of a reflection on the badge. Changed the values, duplicated it the same as we did in the piece before to create this bloom effect, a secondary bloom, more bloom, and then I played here with the curves adjustment to really dial it in. And then I outlined the shape of the baby, and these are colors that you're gonna understand in a little bit, because I did this and then I started to paint the fucking thing, you know. I kept the lines because I felt it worked, but this I painted it like digitally with my Wacom. I studied fine art and I know the principles for digital painting. I actually paint with I used to paint, like properly paint with acrylic and stuff like that. But it's too much of a hassle. The computer, it's so much it's so much fun also. I feel like it's also a bit quicker, and if you have anxiety like me, like you can't just paint with acrylic. It's torture for me. But this was super fun to do, and as I started to do it, it was like, yo, this is looking really great. So I kept going, you know. And actually, I don't remember when was the last time that I finished the piece, right? From my days of painting, like trying to do concept art and stuff like that, I felt like this is the best piece that I've done, like illustrating, you know, like actually illustrating it myself. It's the best one. And I haven't done anything like this in years, guys. Like that's what's crazy also about the concept of the piece. Like I'm talking about Linkin Park being reborn as a band, and I go to my old toolkit to do something in a way I haven't done in years. So that was also like a real nice full circle moment, because when I was studying for being like a concept artist, for the ones that already watched the stream know, I used to draw a lot because I wanted to be a concept artist, like for movies, video games, and stuff like that. And then I'll do a full video on this because it's pretty time consuming to explain. I deviated and decided to become a graphic designer, but I still keep some of the drawing skills, right? So it was like a really nice full circle moment, because I used to listen to Linkin Park all the time back then, right? I just now got reconnected to the band because my girlfriend got me tickets to go see them, but It was a nice moment to realize this. It wasn't intentional, So okay, I started to paint the baby. I keep the lines, and then I started to add these complementary values because, as you already know, we're gonna use the diffusion pattern later. So it's important to really dial those in. And actually, the way that I did it was that I actually got to this point, added the lines, and then here is where I added the diffusion pattern, right? Here I was already at this stage, right? I was like so. And then I go back and started to add the other values to really see how it looks with the diffusion pattern on, right? So I started adding these other complementary values, right? I painted over the baby again because I wasn't feeling it. Added more detail, more values to the painting. Here added some reflections, dialed in the values even more. Here I've obscured other parts, added some of the text to really try out the composition. I was feeling it. Added the Linkin Park, added a texture, right? This again, this kind of typography, liquid typography, go watch the previous streams that we did in which I teach you how to do something like this. The ones on how to do custom typography, right? Then I added the stars. I'll release this asset pack, the stars, the glimmer. Studio AAA has a really nice pack on those, but I want to show you how to do them yourself. And I also found a really cool way to making those, so I'll teach you eventually. Then I added this, the texture, added a coloring here. I found a really cool way of using like the like gradient maps. You put them on lighten and they sort of shift the colors. It's like using a lot, something like that, and they really shift the colors in a way that's more harmonious and it's not so aggressive as the gradient map, right? And it's really nice to add like a little bit of subtle variation to the colors that gives it that. It's like all hierarchy levels, you add a little bit of intrigue into the text by adding more hierarchy levels. So if you can do that to the color as well, adding some nice gradations and color shift, you know what I mean, it really adds to flavor to the piece and dimension, right? Here I play with more with the values. Here's the texture, but this is for the post part. And I added a bloom again on top as we did on the previous piece. And there we have it, my guys. It ended up looking amazing. No, it's not the same colors. Like this gradient map, bro is asking, is the gradient map a duplicate of the previous one but on lighten or new colors? No. This is the first gradient map which is the one that gives the colors. And then the second gradient map is these colors. It's these colors. Right? It's these colors, and I think it's reversed. It's reversed? Yeah, it's reversed. Right, you need to play around with it for a little bit. You can get all of these gradient maps. You have my full pack, and then I have the acid gradient maps. If you want to support the channel in some way, you can get some of the asset packs. My advice, wait for Black Friday because it's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be releasing more newer asset packs, and also it's gonna be like a big sale. You can get like everything you want. What's up, my guy? Where did you study? I studied at the University of Buenos Aires. It's a public school for design and architecture. It's actually one of the best in the world for graphic design. Actually, not long ago, I revisited again to go see a talk of an European designer, a Polish poster designer. It was really great to revisit my old university. But yeah, in most of what I learned there is what I'm trying to teach you here with some of the more fundamental assignments, on composition, typography, and all of that. But yeah, that was kind of it, my guys. We covered the piece. I showed you I think we did some really nice merge pieces. Like, don't let me lie. Like, let me see what we did. Yo, we did cook. We did cook, guys. Like this one looks fire. Yo, this one is kind of fun. Like, don't let me lie, my guys. This one's kind of fun. So yeah, my guys, this was nice. Let me know what you, if you want to talk about something else. And which tutorial? Actually, let me go check. Go to YouTube. You go to my channel and you go to, you have my videos. Here you have re-edited streams that we did. This one, the how to mix font, was really great. Your work should provoke was also a really nice video that I like. This video, the last that I made, please guys go watch it. I feel I really like that video. It's a sponsored video, but I really liked it. Here on the tutorials. Here I think I teach you in this dreamy negative film. In this video, I think I teach you.
Map, you can really start.
Yeah, in this video I show you how to make it. I know. Sorry, it's not the same. In this one.
What's good, ninjas?
In this one, I teach you how to make it.
Your graphic design dojo, where we'll learn the dark arts of graphic design and photo.
In that one, I teach you. Yeah, go watch all the tutorials. You know what I mean. But yeah, I'll drop more tutorials soon for sure. But you have a lot to watch here. If you go to the streams, all the previous Design Dojo streams that we did, like look, we have a lot of stuff. We did a lot of stuff. How to use grids. Here's some talks on money and mindset. But yeah, it's been really nice, all that we've been streaming, really. Yeah. What is my guy? You're very good at this, man. Inspirational. Oh, thank you, my guy. Yeah, thank you really much. I'm so glad it's helpful to you, my guys. For sure. Now I'm trying to balance out because balance out the amount that I sell the assets, because I really want to keep making that. Actually, the assets allow me to not have to do so much sponsor stuff and actually sell you like stuff that I don't even use, you know what I mean? I did one sponsor video because the sponsor was really good and I really liked the tool that they were promoting, which is the last video on Pacdora. But I get so many requests and I really don't like it. Like I really criticize that a lot about not graphic design influencers, but the influencer economy in and of itself. Like it's all like a gigantic hydra of people selling people stuff that they don't use. So I would, to the extent that I can keep only selling the stuff that I use and that I make, I would like to keep only selling that, you know what I mean? Because I actually use those. So I'm trying to balance out the amount of free stuff that I give out and the amount of stuff that I sell, you know what I mean? It's super counterintuitive, but the more stuff you give out for free, like the less money you make out of your paid stuff. And I don't know, because I love to giving stuff up for free, but I also need to sell stuff to keep making money, you know what I mean? But yeah. Thank you, my guy. What was I saying? My preferred method for printing t-shirts? No, my preferred method is screen print, like water ink screen printing. I think it's the best because you get that really unique screen print texture. It's also like you have this artisanal like feel to it that I really love it. You have like really high quality digital printers now that can print the t-shirts as they come, but I guess yeah, it's all right. But I really like the look of a nicely printed silk screened t-shirt, you know what I mean? Like that's something I would really advise you. If you can go do a workshop on screen printing and learn how to screen print, like to reveal a shabloon, the board to do the screen print, you'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot. Yeah, my guys. Yeah, I'm sure there are really high quality like DTC printers that work amazing. It's just a matter of taste and a matter of what I learned design with. I remember university we did a lot of screen printing of stuff, and it just has that flavor. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I also say the same to my clients. Like, if you can do a screen print, like a nice quality screen print, because you can do a shit screen print also, right? But a nice quality screen print, it's the way to go. Do you need to make your design completely detailed to be able to print on a t-shirt? I mean, that's one thing, because no, not necessarily. You can you need to understand the process, so you'll be able to send it to production and you design something that benefits from the screen printing. You know what I mean? That's why this style that I just did works better for screen printing, right? Because you can separate the colors better and you can have more control. But for that, you need to understand how it works. Some gradient and they can print it out. Yeah, you need to understand, because if you have an image, right, and if you send it to the workshop, they'll detail it for you and they'll separate the colors, right? But you need to understand how it works, so you can do it yourself and you have more control over your print, because maybe I designed the print so it works on two colors, right? And you need to understand how the layers work so you can do that yourself and design with that in mind, right? Maybe you want more transparency in some part and not in another. If you send it straight to the workshop like that, they'll separate the colors like in the way that they see fit, and they'll do a whitewash first and then print the design over it, right? And then it can look weird, you know what I mean? So, and also it depends on how much the ink covers the garment, right? If the ink is more diluted or not. So do a screen printing workshop. It's really nice. Not because you're gonna actually make super crazy design. Like, I haven't done something like super crazy for screen print in a while now, but it's nice to know that. So when you send something for print, you know it's gonna look the way you want. You know what I mean? And you actually take advantage of that. So yeah, my guys, that was kind of it. That was kind of it, my guys. Hope you like the stream, and we're gonna keep with this assignment. I'm gonna do I'm gonna going on a little trip on the 2nd of November. Got invited to a place. I'm gonna tell you about it soon. A really cool opportunity that came my way, and yeah, I'm really excited to tell you all about it. I want to make a video about it too, and yeah, I guess we're gonna keep with this assignment just a bit longer. And I'm thinking when I come back from the trip, we're gonna do 2 more assignments. We're gonna do for this year. We're gonna do 2 more. We're gonna do a semiotics assignment. It's gonna be for copywriting. It's gonna be a purely conceptual exercise. It's gonna be like you need to put like text and an image. It's gonna be purely conceptual, right? I'm even gonna give you a template for how you need to put the images and the text. Like, nothing creative in terms of aesthetics gonna be on that exercise. It's one of the assignments we did on school that was the easier. It was the most. It's simple, but it's super hard, right? Because it's on copywriting and on semiotics, so it's really complex exercise to do correctly. And then we're gonna finish the year with a movie poster. We're gonna do a movie poster assignment, and we're gonna do. I'm thinking if we want to do like a more flashy movie poster, like you can do like a really cool design that you want with the heads and everything, or I want you to do like the conceptual movie poster, right? Something really thought out and really crazy, right? So I guess that would be really fun way to close the year this year, and then I have plenty of time to prepare the dojo for the next year. Probably we'll start out in February and just keep going from there. You know what I mean? So yeah. I really do want to. I really want to do workshop one. I'm self-taught and hella eager to learn about shirt making. Yeah, for sure. I have a friend that bought the entire like thing. Actually, that it's pretty cheap, like to get yourself the equipment to do it yourself. So that's a plus. I would love to have like a small like screen print workshop just to print posters, because that's really nice. You can make your own posters, you can make stickers, and then present yourself in little markets to sell your stuff physically. You can ship them, you can do whatever. So screen printing is goated, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's it, my guys. That's it. I was gonna say something, but I completely forgot what it was. So yeah, that was everything, my guys. Hope you liked it. Hopefully learned something. And yeah, the stream's gonna be up. You can watch it whenever you want. Stop by the Design Dojo, the Discords down below. Upload your pieces. We're all learning together there. So that's it, my guys. You already know how it is. Fuck peace. Wish you conflict. See you in the next one, ninjas. Peace.